Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And yes, we have the Beecham box, the Beecham stereo box on Warner. Now, as I've said a billion times, we desperately need a Beecham mono box from Sony, which is probably never going to happen. And we need a Beecham mono box from Warner as well, which is probably never going to happen. I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. But we do have 35 fun-filled CDs recorded between 1955 and 1959. That's an amazing amount of activity. Really extraordinary when you think about it. And you've got rehearsals of things. And listening to Beecham rehearse is as much fun as listening to Beecham play, because he just had a great time, and the orchestra had a great time most of the time. And it's a whole different way of dealing with people when you listen to this guy. It's terrific. I like the rehearsals sometimes better than the performances. Sorry. Anyway, let's see what we have here. First of all, just a bit of a disclaimer. Most of these things are the Royal Philharmonic, except for the ones that are the Orchestre National de la Radiodiffusion Française, for some French stuff. And Beecham really turned them into a fine orchestra, but not by today's standards the greatest. And his approach wasn't that. In other words, there's a relaxed quality to the music making, a joyfulness, a stylishness. It's not the kind of thing you hear these days. I wonder if you even could. We miss it. Something got lost, really, when conductors like Beecham passed from the scene, because, well, I mean, he was a spoiled rich kid, and making music was just his life's delight. A hobby, a rich guy's hobby, but a serious one. He was an amazing musician. In fact, I can attest to that because my late friend, the conductor Antonio de Almeida, owned Beecham's score library. He had it all stacked up in his apartment in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, where I used to hang out after the Beecham conventions in the 90s. And we would sit and look at scores together. And, Beecham was extremely meticulous and careful in the way that he marked his scores. And it was really very, very interesting going through some of these things, But anyway, but he was an extraordinary musician who was deeply, deeply serious about what he was doing, but in the best way, in the way that he conveyed joy. I mean, really, just joy. Even in miserable music, he conveyed joy. He didn't do a lot of miserable music, actually. But let's see what we got here. Let's just take this one shot at a time. I will say one thing. The remastering is very good. If you have earlier versions of these performances, you will probably want to hear these new ones. And I don't say that often. You know that. Because I'm not a big audiophile type person, and I don't believe in wasting money for minuscule differences. But here, there is a noticeable sonic improvement in a lot of these performances. Not all, but a lot, that might justify consideration if you're a serious Beecham fan. So let us look and see what we have. Here's pile number one. First, Sibelius. Symphony number 7, Pelléas et Mélisande and the Oceanides. Now, this Sibelius 7th was not one of Beecham's greater Sibelius recordings. It is a little bit on the, I don't know how to describe it, slack side, a little, not slack in a happy way. It could be tauter. It could have a greater dynamic range and sense of the power of the music. The Oceanides is pretty terrific. It really is. And the Pelléas and Mélisande incidental music is beautiful, too, with some very unusual tempi, like that intermezzo. He takes it at about half that speed, but it works beautifully. You hear everything. It's terrific. But the symphony, it's never really gotten all that much love, and deservedly so. It's okay. It's okay. He doesn't do anything really wrong, but it's not compelling. That's the way it should be. Schubert. Let's see what we got here. Symphony number 6, Griegs in Autumn, and the Old Norwegian Romance with Variations. These are beautiful performances. Beecham Schubert was always wonderful, and his Grieg was always wonderful. Grieg was a big friend of Delius, so there you go. And these were not regularly heard works when Beecham recorded them in the 50s. Not at all. He was wonderful doing unusual repertoire, lighter repertoire, things that nobody else was bothering with. And he would treat them with such love. And this is, one of those cases. It's just terrific. Then we've got, let's see, the Balakirev Symphony No. 1. That's fun. And the Polovtsian dances with the Wild Dance of the Men. Yeah, all those things. With chorus, which I despise, but I don't care. I mean, again, this is just fun. It's enormous fun to listen to. And the Balakirev is terrific. It's exciting and fiery and passionate and thrilling. It was made at the same time, actually, Karajan did it in mono, you may recall, with the Philharmonia. So the EMI did it a couple times in a few years. Handel, Solomon. Oh, yes. Well, with John Cameron, Elsie Morrison, Lois Marshall, Alexander Young, the Beecham Choral Society under Dennis Vaughan, the Royal Philharmonic. And yeah, you've got to get all of Beecham's Handel, no matter what. No matter what he does to it, no matter what he does with it, no matter what he does for it, you just got to hear it. Beecham and Handel were simpatico as creative personalities. They were musical hedonists. And that's the quality that comes through, that lusciousness, the sexiness, the joy in the whole thing. It's just phenomenal. Then we've got, look at this. This is interesting. The Brahms Schicksalslied in English, and the Liszt Psalm 13, Herr, wie lange willst du? Version for tennis choir. Yeah, tennis choir. Wimbledon's happening right now. That's where I got that. Version for tenor, chorus, and orchestra, sung in English with Walter Midgley, the amazing Walter Midgley, and all the usual Beecham people. That's a rarity. I mean, Liszt, particularly unusual and interesting, and it's a good piece, by the way, even in English. Mozart, the Jupiter, and the Divertimento for flute, oboe, bassoon, four horns, and strings in D major. And then a bonus stereo test of the Jupiter. Wow, a bit of it anyway. A portion of the 1934 recording of Mozart's Jupiter was recorded stereophonically on a 10-inch technical test disc, and here it is. So there you go. Beecham's Mozart was like his Schubert and Haydn, just enormously stylish and just it's sui generis, as we say in the business. You can't compare it to anything else. No repeats, but hey, it's just so much fun to listen to. It really is. Then we've got, the Abduction from the Seraglio, singers on cover. Oh, here they are. Let's see, we got Lois Marshall, Ilse Hallweg, Leopold Simino, Gerhard Unger, Gottlob Frick, and famous people doing this. Yes, it's terrific. It's lots of fun. It's just tons and tons and tons of fun. So that's nice to have. Is it a great recording of the Seraglio? Well, I don't know. I liked it back in the day. It's just wonderful to have, I think. Beethoven, Symphony No. 2, and the incidental music to the Ruins of Athens. This is just great. Absolutely great. And the Ruins of Athens music, the chorus of dervishes. Play the chorus of dervishes for your friends and ask them who the composer was. They'll never guess. It's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the Beethoven is as fresh as if it was written yesterday. It's just wonderful. L'Arlésienne by Bizet, Sibelius, Tapiola, Fauré Pavane, Delius, 3 small tone poems, Summer Evening, just the first one, the Ermelin Prelude, and the Orchestral Suite No. 2, Arlésienne Orchestral Suites 1 and 2. Dvorak's Legend, Opus 59, No. 3, and the Grieg Symphonic Dance, Opus 64, No. 2. What's not to love? I mean, really, it's just wonderful. Then we got Delius. Lots of Delius. Oh, so much Delius. Well, no, just 3 discs here for this batch of it. We have Brig Fair, A Song Before Sunrise, the March Caprice, 2 pieces for small orchestra, 3 small tone poems, the Sleigh Ride, that's fun. The Intermezzo from Fenimore and Gerda, thank God we don't have to hear that whole opera. And it's, his Beecham, his Delius. Beecham's Delius, Delius's Beecham. They were interchangeable. They really were. If it weren't for Beecham, there would be no Delius. So there you go. It's absolutely essential and beautiful. The Florida Suite, which is gorgeous, which Beecham rediscovered and edited for performance. Dance Rhapsody No. 2, and Over the Hills and Far Away. Far, far away. Amazing. And we've got, oh, yes, The Songs of Sunset with John Cameron and Maureen Forrester. And Grieg's Peer Gynt, incidental music with some singing with Ilse Hallweg, sung auf Deutsch. These are also totally classic, fabulous thingies. Haydn's The Seasons. Ooh. Well, what can we say about The Seasons? Well, Beecham's Haydn was also incredibly wonderful. It was stylish and fun, and it's with Elsie Morrison and Alexander Young and Michael Langdon. Must have been like 12, young Michael Langdon. He makes a couple cuts here and there. He adds a little tchotchkes to the orchestration here and there, and it's just terrific. It's just terrific. You don't have to worry about it. These are wonderful. Beecham arranged Handel's music as a bunch of ballets, and he recorded them, and they've been hard to find for like centuries now. And here's the most famous one, Love in Bath. It's called Love in Bath, the orchestral suite. It actually has some singing in it too, and oh gosh, it's just a marvelous thing. He took all sorts of strange Handel ballet music and other music from his operas that was never being performed, and he created ballets out of them, much as, for example, Macaris did with Pineapple Paul, or Rossini Respighi, La Boutique Fantasque, that sort of thing. It's a pastiche ballet. It's 46 minutes long, this particular disc, and it's wonderful. Wonderful. The classic Beecham Scheherazade, which I think is hardly the classic that people make it out to be. I've always found it to be somewhat pale. It has no bass sonically. It still doesn't. The playing is very fine in spots. It is, but corporately the orchestra is a little bit sloppy in the finale. And if I hear one more English critic, have an orgasm over the delicious bassoon playing of Theophilus Tidwell, the bassoonist in the Royal Phil, I'm just going to lose it. I mean, it doesn't sustain its reputation. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. However elegant and stylish it may be. Lollipops. Oh yes, lollipops. We get Soupe, Poet and Peasant, Sibelius, Valse Triste, the Royal Hunt and Storm from Les Troyens, the March from the Hofner Serenade by Mozart, the Le Rouet d'Omphale by Saint-Saëns, that's fun, the Debussy Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun, the Ballet of the Sylphs from the Damnation of Faust, and Chabrier's Joyeuse Marche. These are absolute classic performances. More Beecham lollipops. Ooh, baby. Let's see, the Minuet des Follets from the Damnation of Faust, the Cortège et Air de Danse from L'Enfant Prodigue by Debussy. When was the last time you heard that? Oh, Samson Delilah, the Dance of the Priestesses, and the Bacchanal. Oh, that's a hoot. Tchaikovsky, Eugene Onegin Waltz. Mozart from Thamos, Königin in Ägypten. Yeah, the Entr'acte. I mean, the stuff he dug up and played. It's just wonderful, isn't it? The Juliette's Sleep, Le Sommeil de Juliette from Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, and the Trojan March from Berlioz's Les Troyens, and we have the second movement, first movement, pardon me, only, of Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony as a bonus that wasn't released normally. Then we've got French Romantic music. Oh God, Fauré's Dolly Suite, the Carmen Orchestral Suite Number 1, which has just some schwung. It's got gusto. You really, when you do the Carmen Suite, which I played many times, by the way, cymbals and things, you really, really need to hear the timpani. I have to say, because it's a march. Jump, ba da 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 ba da. The timpani going boom, ba da dum, ba da boom, ba da boom, ba da boom, ba da ba da ba da ba. And you don't want to take it so fast, like Claudio Abbado does, for example. No, it has to have swagger. And you want to hear those timpani. You do with Markievicz and you do with Beecham. He gets it. He gets it. And the Franc D minor. It's a lovely Franc D minor. It's a little bit, it's the, Orchestre National de la Radio Diffusion Française. Well, diffusion is exactly the point. It's a bit diffuse sonically. I wish it were not so diffuse, because when it heats up, it's terrific. But, the sonics are a little, even the remastering, it's kind of cavernous. There's not much you could do. Faust Symphony. Oh, this was also a classic. I mean, Beecham was doing it when nobody would. And Orpheus. Orpheus is fabulous. The Faust Symphony does get tired towards the end. The choral finale, well, I mean, it's kind of, risible, I think is the word, that choral finale. And the end kind of sounds like an accident. But getting there's a lot of fun along the way, so I can't criticize. The remastering in this particular recording hasn't helped all that much. It was always a little boxy, and it still is. Ein Heldenleben, this sounds really good. Wow, this sounds good. I never much cared for this Heldenleben. Well, now I like it more. It has a lot more vim and vigor than I recalled. So, yeah, cool. And you've also got some rehearsals from the Faust Symphony and Orpheus that was just there, that you get to hear Beecham chuggling along with his orchestra. Then we've got the Beethoven Mass in C. Who ever cared about the Beethoven Mass in C when Beecham did this in the 1950s? It's not a terrible work. And Beecham was not one for the Missa Solemnis, I don't think, at least on disc. But he has a go, and it comes off fairly well. It does. And this one is, oh, yes, more Handel. This is fabulous. The Gods Go A-Begging. That was another ballet suite that he trumped up from various Handel works. And then you've got the Amaryllis Orchestral Suite and a bit of Solomon, the Arrival of the Queen of Sheba, of course. The overture for Mozart's Abduction from the Seraglio, Rossini's Semiramide, God Save the Queen, and a bonus. Beecham rehearses The Gods Go A-Begging, and Haydn's 97th Symphony. Yeah. Well, Beecham's Haydn symphonies, especially 97 here, actually, let's see, 91, 92, 94, 95, 96, 97, 93, 94, 95, 96, right. Yes, because it was the later ones that were in stereo, but here we have 97. This is all newly remastered. Yes, wonderful, terrific, whatever. Okay. Let's go here. Let's see what else we have. Here's more Haydn. Okay, here we go. Salomon Symphonies 7 through 12. Well, yes, which is because they didn't know what the numbering was back in those days entirely. So that's Symphonies 90 something or other, 99, there we go, to 104. And the additions are all wrong, and you don't hear trumpets and drums the way period instrument people tell us we should. And the percussion parts in the Military Symphony are those old corrupt ones. And Beecham didn't give a damn about which edition he used, and the performances are fabulous. They have such wit and charm and elegance and point, and Haydn was like the classical Delius for Beecham. I mean, they were made for each other. Just classic things. Schubert, Symphonies 3 and 5, same as with the Haydn. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, delicious, no repeat performances. Mozart, let's see, what do we got here? The Bassoon Concerto. Oh, there's Theophilus Tidwell again. And the Clarinet Concerto. So it's with, oh no, pardon me, his name was Gwydion Brooke. I like Theophilus Tidwell better. And Jack Brimmer. So, yeah, okay, those are fine. Mozart's Bassoon Concerto is garbage, but that's all right. Carmen, the whole opera with Victoria de los Angeles. Yeah, it's a classic Carmen. I don't need to tell you any more about it. We all know it's wonderful, terrific. They should have stuffed it in the complete Bizet box. They didn't. Kill them now. Beethoven 7, ooh, and Brahms 2. This Beethoven 7th is one of my versions de référence. It's totally, awesomely insane. Even if Beecham said it sounded like a lot of yaks jumping about, but it's just a phenomenal performance with horns that are just going nuts the whole time. It's just wonderful. And the Brahms 2, which is also delicious and full of energy and verve and not too Germanic heaviness. It's just really delicious, wonderful. Beecham, my favorite overtures. Oh, his favorites are my favorites. Of course, we've got La Gazza Ladra, Midsummer Night's Dream, La Cambiale di Matrimonio, that's Rossini in case you were wondering, Delibes, incidental music from Le Roi s'amuse, Die schöne Melusine by Mendelssohn, and Berlioz's Corsair. This Corsair overture is smoking. It is unbelievable. Just nobody does the whole ending thing. From where the brass come in with, yeah, da, 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 for that business. Wow. Phew. Sweat just thinking about it. The Symphonie Fantastique. Okay. with the radio diffusion people. Again, it could have more gusto in the final, which is Sabbath. It really could. It's a good performance, but and it has Beecham's characteristic, sense of cerise, his smile, and the waltz, and all of that stuff you hear. But there are more exciting symphony fantastiques out there. And last but not least, the Bizet Symphony in C, which is fabulous. Of course, it's neoclassical, fluffy, post Haydn, Mozart stuff, and Beecham could do that like nobody's business. And the Lalo Symphony in G minor, that was a big deal when this came out. It's not a great symphony, but boy, Beecham gives it a lovely performance, and that's also with the radio diffusion people, and the diffusion isn't too diffuse. So there you go. That's it. 35 CDs. Let me see if I can put them away and not make a disaster out of it. Okay, yes, they're all fitting in there somehow. Did it. Oh, I'm so excited. And you get a decent booklet with actually a very, very good essay about Beecham and his importance and his repertoire choices and, all of that stuff. So that's nice. And it does come in this nice sturdy slip case, which I really, really like. And you get all of the track listings, well, not track listings, CD listings of repertoire on the back, the sides, so they don't have to print it again. But they do have a work list at the back of the booklet. It's a nice production. I want more Beecham. I do, but this is an awfully good start. And if it's all we get, well, let's be grateful. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.